Thanks, Arman, so much for that. We are here at the TCS house decoding the numbers. The numbers came out yesterday, and of course, the first large IT company to declare its numbers. With me is the CFO at the company, as well as the global head HR and EVP, Mr. Milan, with us. Mr. Ramakrishnan, let me start with you first. Generally, TCS sets the tone. It's the largest company in terms of the sector. And when you look at the Q1 performance, if I would have asked you same thing 3 months back, you would have said that things have slightly changed or become slightly moderate. Can you just explain what happened in this last 90 days?
I think on the couple of large sectors, at least on the BFSI, we had called out in January as well as in April that there is a softness in certain segments like capital markets and the US. And so that seems to have been continuing and to some extent accentuated. And also among the large banks in the US, etc. So we did see some softness continuing in the BFSI sector. And also the retail, which is another large sector, it has been softer than what we expected. Partly due to more client specific, because some clients have actually have financial stress. But it is retail, we believe, is more temporary. On the BFSI, we'll have to watch. So from that perspective, I think you're right when you say that there is a moderation from what we expected at the beginning of the quarter or through the quarter. Yes.
What essentially are the developments that you would look globally which could tell you that BFSI space, retail space can bounce back quite quickly?
I think it will be more to do with the clients. We can't really comment on any macroeconomic factors influencing that, because in the last 3-4 years we tried to decode that, and I don't think anyone has really got that correlation. But it will be dependent on client-specific investment plans and how they are going about it. For instance, in a few clients, we are seeing that their readiness to take on large transformation projects is getting delayed in their decision making. It could be possibly because there is a feeling that how to take those transformative steps. So these are more specific to individual clients rather than putting a macroeconomic factors around it.
Right. Milan, if you look at the hiring number which you have given for Q1, it seems to be quite strong and much better than what you have done earlier. And for a company like TCS or any other IT company, it's always, employees that lead to the investment. So in medium term, are you preparing for a capacity growth or are you looking at better growth because of which you are preparing the capacity?
I think we have always been using this model for a long time. And so it means all our growth happens organically and we basically take it people from the campus. This time, the only change is it has happened much quicker. And because of the new model we have adopted through the national qualifier test. Everything has shifted left. We are getting people in faster, training them faster, and then deploying them faster. So it's good for everybody.
Right. Let's talk about the margins as well. So, margins have come in at 24.2. Can you just decode that? I believe there are some one-offs, some wage hikes, and then we can talk about the core margins.
Yeah, typically in the first quarter of the year, we have the salary increases. So that is a factor definitely. Secondly, this was a quarter where there was significant rupee appreciation against all the currencies, especially on the pound. So that appreciation has played out because there has been no support from that area. So if you really look at it from last quarter to this quarter, these are two factors. And the other one is, of course, a small benefit from the adoption of the IAS 117 or IFRS 16, that is on the leases. So that is something which will be, it will come into this quarter, but then from next quarter it should get normalized. So these are some of the factors which are there. So a typical first quarter impact of increases is always there, and then we recover that over the next few quarters. So from that perspective, it is not different from any other first quarter. except that in this quarter, rupee appreciation has also played a factor. Yeah. So that is how we would put the Q1.
So how would you look at the recovery going ahead, assuming the rupee is where it is, because that's not a factor in your control, but operating leverage, other leverages, other levers that give you growth for margins?
See, a number of things. One is we have been investing on building capabilities. We have been investing on building our own platforms and intellectual property. We have done a lot of things in terms of how to get value maximization out of these and to make sure that these investments pay out. So we will continue to do that. We can do a lot more. Secondly, areas like automation, agile, we've adopted it, and we have been, for instance, location independent agile. We have been the pioneers, so to speak, in taking it to scale, but to make it more broad-based. So that will have some listen. The other, just to put it in reference, even in this quarter, for instance, while we have we did all the salary increases, etc., from April 1st for across the company. Even in this quarter, approximately about 15% of the total workforce, in terms of at least the senior level, have from a variable compensation, there has been some moderation. While 85% of the total employee would get all their 100% of their variable, there will be about 15% who won't have, there will be moderation. So these are levers which we can calibrate as we go along. This is the first quarter. So these are areas. As you rightly pointed out, currency is one factor, because rupee depreciation is part of our model, and that takes care of the inflation differential between the country where majority of the services are being provided versus the countries where our customers are located. So if the currency stays benign or appreciates, then that would be putting some strain. Otherwise, but we will continue to work on our levers and stay focused on, because on the revenue part of it, we have done several things, and we stay focused on from that aspect. So this is what we will do on the margins.
Right. Can you also talk about the cost pressures coming in from the H-1B visa norms? A lot has been spoken about it. Is hiring getting difficult, especially abroad, and could that lead to a little bit of more pressure on the margins?
See, as I've been saying, and we are actually a top job creator in the US, right? One of the top job creators in the US. We have been hiring people from the campus and also from the market. We do all kinds of things. In tactical situations, we actually go and hire business associates, as a tactical pool for us. So it has been working very well for us so far. We have been able to win deals. We have been able to being able to staff engagements properly with the model right now. I don't see any challenges currently.
Right, but could this lead to a lot of cost pressures or not anything material?
This cost is, we have been hiring this for many quarters, so this cost is already baked into our current costs, manpower costs.
Right, so any material increase because of this is unlikely?
I don't think so. No, there is no material increase because of this.
Let's talk about the European markets as well. So in the presser yesterday, it was being stressed that capital markets and European banking clients are seeing some issue, and that could lead to weak trends. By when do you expect a pickup into these areas? Because these are significant growth areas for the company in the past.
It's very difficult to predict, because as I said earlier, it is dependent on individual banks, their priorities, and in terms of their decisions. So in a very broad brush, one can't put a time frame to it. We'll continue to be very seriously engaged with all these clients, because many of these clients we have a long-standing relationship, and we have a strong portfolio of strengths in terms of technologies, the domain experience, the contextual knowledge of these clients, and the ability to suggest and craft solutions which stitches together multiple technologies and capabilities. So we will continue to stay focused and also work on any opportunity which comes up with any of this. It's not that today opportunities are not there, but it is the large banks spending freely. That is a little muted at this point of time.
Right. Just a word, recently we got the budget, and in the budget, the buyback has now been taxed at 20%. Now, earlier, a lot of companies were doing buybacks to give more money to the shareholders. You think dividend will now be the way because it also caters to retail? Any change in the policy at this point of time?
So there are mixed views on that. So as far as we are concerned, the board will decide at an appropriate time as to the choice of instrument. We still, even if we want to do a buyback, we cannot do it right now. So regulation-wise, it's a few months away. So board will take a decision at that appropriate time. On the merits of one versus the other, today it's too early because even a lot of commentators have multiple views on that subject.
Just a last one, Milind. I just wanted to understand about the hiring plans for FY19 over FY18. How would you look at it? Can you just give us a path going ahead for FY19?
So we offered 30,000 trainees this year. So that plan is on. That plan is very much on. Actually, it is going very well this year. And on the quarter-on-quarter basis, we continue to hire people from the market as we go along. And that story remains the same for us.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking out time for us. Always get perspective from you. So that was the first panel at TCS. Stay tuned. We'll get you the second panel pretty soon.